The very lovely Shani Jacks, everybody. Yeah! Gotta love a little bit of Sal. Boys and girls, have I got a great show lined up for you. First and foremost, a very good evening to you. Let me have a bit of a cuddle. Now, I've got a very, very special hello to make to a young lady called Michaela. Hello, Michaela. I understand you've been a bit poorly just lately, darling. You're just kind of recovering from a stroke. So, all the best to you, babes. I hope you recover soon. You take care of yourself, sweetheart. Big cuddle for you to our very lovely Michaela. All the best, babes. Got lots to look forward to this evening. Very, very quickly, I've got one on. Look at this. Mikey, have a little look at this, mate. This is coming up later. This is the Klaus Quebec timepiece. Oh, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? So that's coming up later on. I've also got for you the staple gun. Now, this staple gun, I love this. It's not just a staple gun. It's power as well, by the way. You plug it in. It's also a nail gun as well. So that's coming up for you a little bit later on. And if it's fabulous dresses you're after, have a little look at our Jen in this. This is the beautiful geometric maxi dress. The flow, the fluidity of it, you've got to love it. You've got to love it. That's coming up for you later on as well. And it's your final chance of a deal of the day. It's coming up at 8:30 this evening. This is the fragrance by Dana. It is a very, very seductive fragrance. And lady, all I'm going to say to you is this. If you're going to put on a bit of black lace, you know why you're putting it on. You top off the look with the fragrance. That's coming up for you. Oh, and tonight at 9:30, pick of the week. I've got these for you. These are the BT decked phones. That's digitally enhanced cordless technology. They're coming up for you a little bit later on. I'm even being joined in the studio by a special guest. Speaking of being joined in the studio, I would introduce you to the very lovely Kiri, but she's having trouble with her talkback, so she's just run off. Okay, always causing problems, that girl. Come over here with me if you'd be so kind. I'm going to walk into our kitchen, only because that's where they've been set. And what we have here are 2 egg dehumidifiers. And what a great little bit of kit these are. Now, boys and girls, I'd just like to quickly point something out. Moisture in your home is something you'd rather not have. Now, what are you on about, Mike? Moisture in my home? What do you mean? Listen, I'll give you a couple of examples. When you dry your clothes in a tumble dryer, what room do you do it in? Do you do it in the kitchen? Do you have a big kitchen? Do you have a small, maybe, utility room? Or maybe you have a little area where you tumble dry, your washing machine's going, you take your washing out of the washing machine, you pop it into your tumble dryer, the tumble dryer's going, and it dries up all of the clothes. Now the thing is, the reason why I say that is, when you've had the tumble dryer going, like in our house, we've got a little toddler, and so therefore the tumble dryer's constantly going, cleaning clothes, washing sheets, all that sort of stuff. Our utility room gets very, very steamy. And after a while, you can't see out of the windows, and what you get is you get little droplets of water, of moisture, on the windows, and that will run down because of gravity. Now that moisture, if you run down into wooden, untreated, maybe window panes, window frames and stuff like that, over a period of time, that moisture can get into the wood. And, as you well know, wet, damp wood is structurally unstable. It's not very good. You'll probably end up having to replace it. It'll start to rot, and so on and so forth. Not much fun, okay? Not very good. If you've ever had to replace windows, you'll know exactly how expensive they can potentially be. Let's stick with gravity, because you don't just always get moisture on the windows, you can also get it on the walls. Now you might be thinking, really? Well, I'll give you an example. Do you bath? Do you shower? And if you're a bath or a showerer, now I'm personally a shower person, I like to have a shower, I don't do baths, but if you've drawn yourself a hot steamy bath and you've drawn yourself a hot steamy shower, steam is basically water in gas form. And as it starts to cool, what it will do is it will start to go back to liquid, and it will cause condensation on the walls. And because of gravity, it will run down the walls. Now, if you've got an untreated skirting board, or if you've got a skirting board that slightly sits away from the wall, that moisture could potentially run behind there and start to cause problems, namely mould and mildew. You don't want mould and mildew in your home. It's not very nice, it's not very good. Do you have a work surface? Do you boil a kettle? If you boil a kettle and that's steam, do you have maybe cupboards? And your kettle's underneath one of those cupboards, and the steam goes up onto the bottom of the cupboard, you'll see little droplets of water. Because like I say, liquid turns to gas when it's heated, and then once it cools, it goes back to liquid again, and gravity causes it to drip. Now, if it goes down the back of the work surface, if it's not been like siliconed or not been sealed, that could cause mould and mildew. And mould and mildew is something you don't want in your home. With these are dehumidifiers. These will take the moisture out of the air in a very clever way, because you've got silica granules inside of them, and then they literally take the moisture and it starts to soak into the silica granules, and over time these will change colour. When they change from blue to pink, it basically means that they are full. And what you then do is you take this out, you put it into the microwave and you recharge it. You dry it out and you can use it over and over again. Now you might be thinking, Mike, they're not going to pick up a lot of water though, are they? In actual fact, these two eggs can hold up to 80 millilitres of water. Now you might be thinking, well, that's not much, is it? I'll show you what 80 millilitres of water looks like. That is 80 millilitres of water. And if I walked into your home and I started throwing that around on your walls and on your windows and down the backs of your work surfaces, you'd probably ask me to leave with very colourful language and a short, sharp, swift boot up my backside, wouldn't you? That is 80 mils of water, and that's an awful lot of moisture. With these dehumidifiers, they take the moisture out of the air. Whether you're using them in a bathroom, whether you're using them in a bedroom, whether you're using them in a kitchen, whether you're using them in a utility room, wherever you choose to use them, where there's moisture present, these can be a very handy thing to have. And you can recharge them over and over and over again. How much? Well, here we go. First and foremost, a very good evening to you. Any price you see, please remember you need to add the P&P and the price of the phone call for the sum total of what you're going to spend. At £15, not for one, for two, for both of them. What do you think about that? Let's get some money off. We're now down to a tenner. That's £5 each. Not a bad price. But how many of these have I got, Bex? I've got a few of them. Let's get them gone. Give me £1. Oh! Honestly, give me a quid, you've got both. That is a great buy, and that's how we're going to do things tonight. We're going to be fast, we're going to be furious, we're not messing about. Add P&P in the price of the phone call, I'll get them delivered to your door. 3 to 5 working days. And if you are not completely satisfied for any reason whatsoever, you return them back to me, please, within 14 days, and I'll give you your £1 back. 15 bars on the phone lines, I've got a clock on the screen, I'm not hanging around, I'm not dillying and dallying. Are you ready? In 3, in 2, in 1, go. Clock's ticking. Get on the phone lines now. If you are 18 or over with a major form of credit or debit card, you can join me this very evening. You need never have bought before. This could be the first time ever you decided to dip your toe into the big TV water. Here come the buyers. 18, 19, 20 gone, and buyers started to flood in on the phone lines. 21 gone. More and more buyers joining me every second. If you want to buy, here's what you do. You dial the number at the bottom of your screen. You then simply press 1. You listen to the automated message, it will tell you what you're buying and prompt you excuse me, to press the number 1 key. Once you press 1, that's it, you've bought it. Now, in case you're wondering, well, how do I pay for it? How do you know where I live? We will phone you back in about 20 minutes. We need your credit card details and your mailing address, and we aim to deliver directly to your door within 3 to 5 working days. How cool is that? If you've got moisture, if you've got condensation build-up in your home, if you've got one of those rooms where it gets very warm, it gets a bit musty, it gets a little bit on the muggy side in it, it's very humid, yeah? There's lots of moisture prevalent, these are going to be absolutely bang on for you. Absolutely bang on for you. And for £1, you're getting 2. Now, I'm doing my omelettes next. I'm just going to quickly switch my omelette makers on, okay? So I want those nice and hot for when I get stuck in. I'm going to make a few omelettes for you. Single £1. Can't go wrong. In actual fact, you know what? Whilst these are flying out, I've got some eggs pre-beaten up by the very lovely Roanne. She's our assistant producer here this evening. She's got the ump today. She's in a bit of a bad mood. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. I don't like the cry. Anyway, she had a bad day apparently. Men in trouble. Honestly, I wouldn't bother with them if I was you. I really wouldn't. Except for you at home, my goddess. Love you. 10 seconds left. 42, 43 of these have gone. Well done if you've got them. It's a great buy for £1. Seriously, I don't think you can go wrong there. Congratulations, one and all. Now, we'll move straight on, okay? Because